Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Mean every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. Thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. I wanted to talk about this topic for quite some time because many of you viewers have asked me to, do this because you feel that this is like many other reality shows actually spoiling our children who are the future of India. And we're talking about reality shows for children. So it's been on my mind for quite some time. And then yesterday, when I was talking to a friend, chatting with a friend, she gave me some more information about what's happening, backstage. So it's very important that friends, we should know what's happening in this industry. It's exactly like something that has happening in Big Boss, or now Lock Up. So it's just another version of that, but the philosophy behind it is the same. It actually helps in spoiling our children, especially robbing them of their innocence and they making them very gullible to various things that adults do. So that's why I thought it was very important that we share this topic with all of you and also look at what all has been happening in this area. So first I'd just like to show you mm, a PowerPoint, and then we can go on to the main thing. See, friends, whenever we go to any dance show, whether it's like a Dance India show, Little Champs on Z, or Super Dancer on Sony TV, or Indian Idol, or any other reality shows, it's people like Shilpa Shetty who we see first with their vulgar laughter, laughing, as though, I mean, they've taken something, you know, as if they're not in their senses. Now, in Shilpa's case, we can understand because Raj Kundra was undergoing a very bad period, and she wanted to divorce herself from him, and also knowing the fact that see, one of the companies were named were named in her son's name, and she did not bother about that, whether it would affect the son at all. So it's this kind of woman who wanted to, because she was completely, ripped apart by the media, and she was, exposed. Her lies were exposed, and that's when she begged these people, these event people, to take her back. Okay, so that's how these reality shows took her back, and then now what you see is her bending backwards to tell them that see, I'm so genuine as a judge. So this is the first thing that you see when you go to these shows, and then you see after that you see Neha Kakkar, acting emotional, anything that the contestant says, and this lady goes and cries a bucket of tears. In fact, a lot of the on social media, a lot of memes have been made about her, crying for any reason, even if you say something very simple, she starts crying. Now, are these reality shows really real? See, that's what we are, exploring. And one more thing, we'll be talking. These are some of the things that we will be talking about. One is that very small children are forced to wear skimpy clothes. As in, if you see this picture of this little girl, she's dressed like what you would say, an adult Katrina Kaif. You know, and then you have some. If the child is a little obese, then they make him look like a clown. Make him dance like a clown. So in many moments you'll see that they're criticizing the child, they're giving him or her a sort of a character which is not at all a part of their persona. You see, this is another one where she exposes herself, and here you'll also see that the most vulgar songs like Chikti Chameli, Bidi Chadai De, all these kinds of songs are played, and these children are gyrate. And you have people like belly dancer Noura Fatehi trying to teach them when the child herself does not have a belly at all. It's up to the parents, to decide whether to send children for such shows. But then a lot of the things here is on depends on the money criteria. Now, these are some of the people who judge. Okay, you've seen them; they're all very familiar faces. And see, you'll also see that if you're talking about the Sushant Singh case, you'll find that a lot of these people are a part of the cabal. And recently, this the third person sitting in the I forget his name. His brother-in-law died, and they said it was a natural death, but many people suspect his death. Okay, so you'll find the same people who are there in that group. That is, we're talking about Mauni, Jackie Shroff's son, or Sanjay Dutt. So it's the same people moving about in these shows, which is very similar to what a Cornerstone does with the ads. So why do you see Arya Bhatt so many times in so many ads? Okay, why are the same people Akshay Kumar seen in ads? So this is something. This is really food for thought, viewers. Why the same people? you know and yeah, let us move on to the next slide. Here again, it's vulgarity. A small kid wearing, these kids are wearing very clothes that expose their body when their body is not even shaped. And these are some of the main people who are involved in this party. This one, what's her name, Shilpa Shetty, and Anurag Kashyap. So these people are all a part of it, and they try to show you that they are actually going through the whole experience, but it's all many people say that the whole shows are rigged. And then you have very, very vulgar shows where Nuri Fatehi is, the way she dances, Nura Fatehi and Terence Lewis, the way they dance. These are not, scenes for little children to follow. But then they do that. And you look at the second scene where he's actually touching her, backside. And they say that later they say that it was, morphed, but it was not. It was actually a scene. So all the time they are selling sex to these small, young, gullible children. So let's start the session, friends. And before that, I'd also like to tell you that Sunidhi Chauhan and Amit Kumar, son of Kishore Kumar, were the two people who boldly criticized what was happening in these shows. So let's move on to the session. And I'll also add Anuradha Kurup, who is a educationalist and special kids, teacher, and a very, very special person. So let me just add Anuradha also. Welcome, Anuradha.
Namaste, Meena, and
Yeah.
good evening, and welcome to all your Candid Meena family. Thank you for encouraging me to share my views and be a part of this program. That
Yeah.
is such an important, it's such an important discussion that I think many in society, especially parents, teachers, and young adults, need to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Anuradha, could you also speak a little louder? I just think your
Yeah,
voice is a
sure.
little,
Just
yeah,
one sec. Let me sec.
yes,
Is
yes.
that better? Is that better?
A little louder. I
Um,
think you should hold the mic a little closer to you.
okay, let me just check. It
Yeah,
could be all right.
yeah.
Is that
To
better now,
continue,
or is
me, yeah, yes, it's fine. Let me just
okay?
continue with
Okay,
this. Okay.
okay. Yeah,
So now, see, friends, whether it's Dance India, Dance Little Masters, Super Dancer, Indian Idol, or any of these reality shows, what one actually sees is the vulgarity, the cutthroat competition, children being dragged into an adult world with adult language. Or are these program creators exploiting children, using their parents? Without realizing it, parents seem to be actually encouraging the sexualization of children in TV shows. And it's nothing new. It has been happening ever since such reality shows started sprouting. Vulgar songs, like Chikni Chameli and Kanta Laga Bidi Chadai De, usually performed by item girls like Bipashu Basu or Malaika or Mauni Roy, are performed by small kids who don't even know the double meaning that these vulgar songs have. Behind such programs are choreographers like Remo D'Souza, Terence Lewis, Ashley Lobo, and film director Anurag Basu. And as I said, Most of the time, we see Shilpa Shetty's mouth all over the place as she laughs, or Mauni Roy's crocodile tears, all theatrics. The emotional backstories and the tears shed by the judges on our Indian TV reality shows. But remember what lies, behind all this. They bring in millions through sponsorship, marketing, and advertising. It is also understood that some companies provide costumes and other facilities given that their shows are popular. So these are the kind of programs that cater to children from the age of 4. Now, Anu, see what we're
Yeah.
talking about is when a child is of the age of 4 years, a child is expected to start going to preschool, and that's the age when the child starts learning things. And this is not exactly the age where they should be gyrating or listening to music of this sort, which has double meaning, and absolutely they have absolutely no idea of what they are dancing to. Your opinions on this, Anu?
Yeah, I'd like to. I hope I'm audible now, or should I
Yeah,
speak
absolutely.
louder?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So I think many concerned citizens, including very famous people, one of them is Chris Hemsworth, I was reading, and so many others have said child abuse is one of those issues that really needs to be brought out into the open. The guilt and the shame surrounding it become worse because it's whispered about, and unless concerned citizens begin to talk about it and we bring it out in the open, it's never going to stop. So while many of us sympathize and empathize and really feel compassion, I think the more the voices are raised, the quicker this is going to stop, and stop
Absolutely.
it must. uh, or at least we must do our best to see how much effect we can bring on this, to ensure that this really, it needs to stop. There's no two ways about it. I think, besides, as you said, children as young as 4 and 5, it's horrific to see them perform to really vulgar songs. And I think everybody is complicit in it, from the studios to the guest judges. The children themselves cannot be blamed. They are too young to know what they are doing. But I think what is really shocking in this is the complicit awareness and involvement of the parents. In some case, it could be just the caretakers of the children. uh, you can I We all know that quite often children are used to fulfill parents' unfulfilled dreams or ambitions. We've heard of what happens when a parent who could not become a doctor or an engineer pushes their child to do so, and somewhere along the child way, the child takes the extreme way out and ends his life, because being an engineer or a doctor is just not what he wanted to do, and he's not cut out for it. So I can understand, one understands a parent's frustrations, but I think as parents, the responsibility we have towards children comes first before our own dreams and our own ambitions. Children are not born for us, for us to use them to fulfill our dreams. So I think we need to come down very, very strongly on caretakers and parents who enter this and are part of this complicit understanding that the child is going to be part of being on vulgar display, or moving to sexualized songs. If the parents themselves do not speak up, who do you think, Meena, is going to speak up for the children? You and I
Also,
can
the
have
fact,
as many programs as we want.
yeah.
Society can scream itself hoarse. However, if the parent does not protect the child, who's going to protect the child?
Also,
And
see,
one,
Anu, yeah,
yes,
also, Anu, see the fact that, see, if these children come in normal clothes, which are decent, it's okay. They are dressed in revealing clothes and
yes,
costumes that imitate elders. And not only
yes,
that, they are doing what they're told to do on stage by their
yes,
parents or the producers of the TV program. When
right.
we
And
actually, when we load these little minds with unbearable pressure and
yes,
competency,
you
anxiety
know,
is building up in their mind. Failure will affect their minds more than any victory. They're
absolutely.
competing
And
with each
this
other,
is,
thinking
the
and working
judging and
selfishly
the
and
judge.
planning to win somehow. So, at such a
Absolutely.
young age, if you're going to make them give them such cutthroat competition, that itself will affect them emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all talking about the stress on children, and we're talking about doing away with exams and tests because, we feel children, now I think up to grade 8, often exams are not held. All this has been done by educators with a reason, because we feel there's a lot of stress that comes in from the unhealthy competition, even in academics. And here you have children on a national platform. Often these shows are watched, I think they can be watched across the world, and the judging is, again, it's for TRPs. So, the failure and the success is all on a bigger stage, and the child is as young as 5 and 6 and 7. What do you think it's going to do to the child?
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, one has also heard and read, and I'm sure there's some truth in that, that a lot of these contests are pretty much rigged, right?
Yes.
So, what exactly has the parent, the caretaker, or the guest judge agreed to let a child win? These are very, very troubling and very serious questions. It is not just about, it doesn't stop at wearing a vulgar costume and dancing to songs of with vulgar lyrics. There's much, much more going on, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. What is really happening behind the scenes of these so-called talent shows for children? I think many citizens have spoken out. Many contestants themselves have spoken out about this. I was reading about, I think Shweta Pandit, if I'm sorry, I may have got the name wrong. So, just bear with me on that one. There are so many,
In
even a
fact,
couple of
Anu,
judges.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll just put in a few words here. Just a few words here.
sure,
See,
sure.
one thing is, Anu, we should actually see you being an educationist and see me being a parent. We should treat children like children instead of forcing them to chase after money, popularity, or personal glory.
Yeah,
Engaging in these activities would also affect their physical growth. Now, another disadvantage of reality shows is that children do not learn how to bear victory and defeat alike. Parents start to cry in front of an audience, and then what the children see is how their parents respond to defeat by shedding
absolutely.
tears and being sorry. Parents should set a good example on how to bear defeat and victory alike, and explain to them that one loss doesn't ruin your complete life. So this is something that they should definitely not teach their children, that you should be weak. If you lose, you're weak. In fact, it should be the opposite.
I think that point that you brought out, Meena, is something really worth reflecting over. It's not something that I, in fact, till you mentioned it, I hadn't really given it much thought, but it is so very important, because here on the national or the international stage, the child learns that if I fail, you know everything is gone. Everything,
Yes,
my parents dreams, which anyway should not be resting on the child just feels success at any cost.
yeah,
So the psychological effect of that, what is the child learning? That failure is not acceptable. It's got to be success at any cost. And these are
absolutely.
lessons that really get burnt onto the child's psyche.
Yeah,
And we're going down the wrong track. And
absolutely.
Meena, thank you so much for bringing this topic up. It's so very important.
Thank you. And Anu, I think we're joined by Meera Naya. Meera, could you join us?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you're audible. Welcome.
Yeah, yeah, the topic is extremely necessary at this point of time with the amount of children's shows of this kind on all sorts of channels, and with quite eminent judges also who are coming into it, like Neetu Singh for one. Didn't
yeah,
expect her to join this. But the main thing I feel is they're targeting children from like tier two towns and rural areas, and I guess those parents don't know all what goes on behind these shows. And
See,
it's
yeah,
also
Meera,
for
let me
some,
just interrupt you, Meera.
yeah,
See, you
yeah.
mentioned one thing. You said that, see, Neetu Singh, an eminent actor, has also joined the show. Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
If you are clever enough to notice, Meera, you'll notice that they are all a part of the cabal. If you see the
Yeah,
people
I
who are
guess
there
so. But
in
like,
these shows, whether it
yes,
is Shraddha
yeah, I
Shroff, whether
understand
it's
that.
Sanjay Dutt, or whether it's Shilpa Shetty, whether it's Preeti, not Preeti, Baduri Dixit, and Ravina Tandon, see, they're all a part of it. You
Yeah,
will
but
not
I didn't
see
expect
new
Neetu.
faces. You
Yes,
will not see new
correct.
faces.
But I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't expect
Neetu,
Neetu Singh
Neetu
at
is the mother of
this age. I mean,
Ranbir Kapoor.
yes, I know that,
And
but I didn't
Ranbir
expect
Kapoor
somebody of
is in the news for a lot of
the
reasons.
son-in-law of Mahesh Bhatt.
Yes, yes, yes.
No, and no, and basically I didn't expect Neetu Singh at this age to come for such a show. That, I mean, that was it. But yeah, I think parents from these smaller towns and villages and all that, they don't know all about what's happening, and they're gullible. And I guess money also is a big issue for them. And
Yeah,
like these winners of these singing shows and dancing shows,
yeah,
they get their 2 minutes of fame here, but when they go back to their towns, they get they get chance to perform on stage and various functions. And basically these type of parents use these children as a source of income. I mean, that's
absolutely.
my take on it. Money
Yeah,
plays a big factor,
yeah. Also, let me tell
and
you
once
something.
they come here, then they
Yeah,
do
so
get
let me just tell
involved,
you.
I guess, by these I mean, you never know what all goes on in these
Yeah,
towns.
let me just tell you about a small girl called Rupsa Bhatyabal. Bata Bial. She was aged only 6, and she was the star of the Super Dancer Chapter 3, where her belly dancing and latka jhatkas won the hearts of the celebrity judges who dubbed her an angel of dance. She is just one of the many children who ended up imitating bold and suggestive moves and expressions in the pursuit to climb up the ladder of success in the world of dance reality TV shows. See, it's not that the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting was quiet. In 2019, in an advisory, they noted how several dance based reality TV shows portrayed young children performing dance moves originally done by adults in movies and other popular modes of entertainment. In the advisory to the private TV channels, the ministry said these moves are often suggestive and age inappropriate. Such acts may also have a distressing impact on children, impacting them at a young and impressionable age. So, after this, a lot of these judges also, everyone from Kashyap and all these people started agreeing with him and with the ministry. But then after that, it has only doubled in size. Now, what I'd like to tell Anu and Meera and the viewers is that how is it different from adult shows like Big Boss, or Lock Up? See, this is stripping the children at a younger age, and that is stripping the adults at that age. Okay, so stripping means I'm not only talking about physically, emotionally also, making them, unburden whatever their sexual thoughts are, whatever their inner thoughts are. Whether for children, it is too emotional. They don't even know what they're talking about. And what about adults? You're listening to someone's sexual experience in Lockup or in Big Boss. So the movement is, to show a degraded society or a society that's becoming degraded. So Anu, as a educationist, you should be really bothered about it.
Yeah, I think this is something that we often discuss, that the pressure on the children, and as you talked about success and failure, and bad enough, that they are on stage and their success and failure is, it's all a gimmick, right? I think most people know that it's all rigged, right? The tears and the drama. So, and yes, Meera, initially I agree with you. When parents come, many may not know, but somewhere along the, I don't want to be too harsh and sound judgmental. Um, Somewhere along the line, some of them do get to know, either they get sucked in already, or they're not able to find a way out, and some, I guess, choose to stay in, and that's really unforgivable.
Yeah.
There are cases of many. I think there was a famous case of a girl in Calcutta on one of the singing shows, if I'm not mistaken, about 4 years back, who tried to take her life, or maybe she succeeded, because I think she lost out on, she didn't become the star singer. Um, all of this is bad enough, but what's really worse is what is happening behind the scenes. And Meena, yes, there were advisories, there are enough rules, but eventually the proof of the pudding is in the eating, isn't it? What
Yes, absolutely.
exactly is done, it's easy. I am aware that many judges, etc., have spoken out, but what did they do after that?
Yeah,
So, walking the talk is more important than just talking the talk. Words are very cheap. I think most of us know that. What is it that they, it's very easy to crack down on these shows.
yeah.
Why these shows are, being allowed to go on is a very, very serious question that probably covers a lot of murky chapters.
Astro Deep has also joined us. Astro, would you like to give us your thoughts on this?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, first, I want to thank you so much because you're being the voice of so many kids who are, forced for these, for the entertainment of adults. I mean,
Yeah,
that itself is such a problematic view. Like, kids are made to dance so that adults can enjoy.
yeah,
That itself is so wrong. They are not
yeah,
working, they are not for any child show. I mean, like some child show TV show like earlier used to be. And since I worked in so many ad films and so many things, and that's why I left that industry. Because nobody, I've seen parents, being strict with the kids. They have to get up at so and so call time, they have to eat properly, they have to do this, then make up and do that. There is no child in that. I
yeah,
mean, they are like a robot.
yeah.
On top of that, they have to, think about their exams
So,
also, their studies.
Astro, just a second. So I'll just introduce you to the viewers. Why I called Astrodeep is because she was working in this field and she has a first-hand view of what happened inside, and that's why viewers, it's very important to listen to her voice. Thank you. Continue, Astro.
Yes, and because I have been part of reality shows as well, very long. Like when I was starting as a AD, just being on the floor, being on the studio, we have to realize that there is so much of competition in the kids. I
Yes,
mean, ये करना है, वो करना है, you have to be at the top. And इतना कोई मेरे पे अगर कोई प्रेशर डाल देता बचपन में, तो I would have just literally broken down, because after that
absolutely.
there is no world. And then you have to, we are like, we need space as a human being also. I don't want to get up at such and such time, and I don't want to eat and follow certain routine. I see that is discipline of the school is enough. Utna discipline okay hai bachcho ke liye. But when you see these people working on the set, this children, matlab I still see that Indian industry has not gone as bad as a Hollywood, where there is pedophilia and all that. I don't see, but who knows? We have not seen. We are not there 24 hours with the children. And there are crew lightmen होते हैं, stuntmen होते हैं, वो बच्चा इधर उधर खेलता है, they know that okay सामने ही है, but who knows, so we
See,
have not
also,
reached that point yet.
yeah. Also, Astro and Anu and the viewers. In fact, a singer, Rekha Bharadwaj, had expressed her
Yeah.
annoyance back a few years back. She said, "I'm not able to understand why there's so much drama in music reality shows, and all reality shows are crap, filled with unnecessary emotional drama and bullshit instead of some authentic and genuine appreciation of music. No, nobody is concerned about these talented kids' future. What disappoints me and saddens me is that rather than guiding these kids to treat music as prayer, we are teaching them to compete, ask for votes, learn to look glamorous. In the name of Guru Shishya Parampara, we are using their name and spoiling their innocence. Unfortunately, we know nothing is going to change. The makers of the show dwell on selling emotional stories. In fact, if isn't a story, they'll make one just to sell the show. All of this for TRPs? Yes. Anu? Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, yes, I think what is there is another layer to this, that in a country which has such rich cultural traditions of music, dance, theater from across the length and breadth of the country, why is it that only this kind of vulgar or sexualized kind of shows are getting so much prominence? Why is our traditional culture slowly getting pushed aside? So there are many, many layers to this. The most horrific one is, of course, what's happening behind the scenes. And secondly, also our culture is getting eroded. Our Indian
Yes,
culture,
absolutely.
music, dance, theater does not need does not need to be popularized abroad, by these shows.
Yeah,
Indian music has now become synonymous, or Indian dance shows and music shows have become synonymous with this kind of, uh, you know, music and dance. And that's another layer of uh, our culture getting eroded. So there are lots of layers to this. And Meena, I can only say thank you, and to Astro and to everybody. I can see there's so many comments coming up. Yes, about Neetu. So I think, as you said, Rekha Bharadwaj has spoken. Somebody said that Kalpana, I think she played a
yes,
negative
yes,
character.
absolutely.
Said that her mother said
In
that
fact,
Kalpana
in
has
fact,
everything.
see, Anu,
Yeah.
these people normally say that they have no, role in it, and these parents come and with already sort of fixed, sort of choreography. Now, this is very wrong. It is the creative team behind the television, program that
Yeah.
decides which song should
Yeah.
go and which dance should go and which dress should be worn. Okay, so that's a big
Yeah.
lie. It's a very big lie. Welcome, Nisha.
Absolutely.
Very nice to have you with
Welcome. Can
us.
you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
Nisha.
Because the
Welcome.
volume from there is very
Yeah,
less on my
yeah.
phone.
No, no, we
Okay.
can hear you.
No,
Welcome,
very
Nisha.
rightly said, Meena. Everybody is complicit, and if you're sitting on the fence, and if you're not speaking up for the person who's being victimized, you are part of the problem. You
Absolutely.
you are accountable. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
I
Nisha.
also want to say one more thing. One.
Yeah, please.
See, there are
Please.
dress rehearsals. They have to do the, because I have worked as a costume AD as well. So you have to do the costume rehearsals also. So then dress dada comes, that tailor comes, they take the measurements 10 times. They
Yes.
have to change. Then fittings happen. So I don't want to say things, but you understand that thing. Like a child, he has to wait there for 2 3 hours. Then again
Yes.
and again change the costumes. Very pathetic.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, Suniti Chauhan, she was a very bold singer who revealed that she was asked to praise the contestants on Indian Idol when she was, when she had to judge a show. Okay,
Yes.
similarly, Amit Kumar also stirred up a hornet's nest when he revealed that the Indian Idol 12 team asked him to praise every contestant. This created a huge controversy,
Yes.
and everybody said that he's being paid. And still, a person called Muntasir, who was one of the judges, he said Amit Kumar took money for the appearance and then criticized the show. He added that if he was in Amit's place and wasn't comfortable with the proceedings, he would have told the makers that he had changed his mind. In fact, what I would say is that
Narendra.
I praise Amit Kumar and also Sunidhi Chauhan for saying the truth, because that's
Absolutely.
what you expect, not lies. Yes,
No,
Nisha, please
absolutely.
do tell us, yeah, your views.
Nina, I really can't hear you. I think there's something wrong with my phone or what.
Yeah, can
Volume
you
is
hear me?
very, very
Can you
low.
hear me?
Very, very mild.
Okay, so just tell us your
Actually,
views on what is happening, with regards to reality shows for children.
yeah, the what I can't understand is how parents take their children for a period of about a year or year and a half and put them through this rigorous training and rehearsing. And then some of the children, there was these reality shows are not only for Bollywood, there is in Malayalam also. And for a while I used to watch them. While the children are no doubt talented and they work hard and everything, but there's some of the children, they complain that they are not able to play
Yeah,
because they are not allowed playing time in the to go outside and play, or don't go outside and
absolutely.
play. You get a cold, you will fall sick, then you will
Yeah,
lose your voice, you can't sing. See, I mean, these are all little stuff which children are made to compromise. And for what? Until they grow up, and the kind of things that they are made to do, and parents complicit with this, it's actually quite difficult to
yeah,
sit and watch it, knowing very well that you will not allow your children. It's not that your child does not have talent, or you wouldn't want to showcase, but how many of these children do come out on top and getting all the accolades and everything all through? just
Yeah.
for the
In
sake of an
fact,
apartment or a
yeah,
big prize money. That's about it. And whatever they go through and the kind of things, there was a Hindi program actually, one of those reality singers. I was quite songs, which I was quite surprised. That little girl came and danced. Something wearing a very funny costume, and the
yeah,
kind of moves that they made,
yeah,
even the judges, which is very strange, the
I
judges
remember.
felt that was so bad and called the mother onto the stage and asked the mother, I mean, is this the kind of music that you would like your
yeah,
child to, dance to? It's age appropriate. Children are like flowers. You
yeah,
teach them
Yes.
all these kind of things right from the beginning. They get, they are lost. They don't know which is right, what is right. And there's no question of anything of people, the adults behaving themselves in front of these children or around these children. They are constantly privy to a lot of information that is not needed for them.
absolutely.
So there is, I,
So
I would
here,
say that there is more
Nisha,
evils, and people should realize that don't use your children for these kind of things
absolutely.
to better yourselves.
Yeah,
Why didn't you do something in your life? And there should be a ban, or there should be a kind of a control where children that young at 4 or 5 years old is not put. And then some of them, you should see the way they talk is also, they talk way beyond their
Beyond
age.
that,
age
yes.
years, and they think that it is cute. It is
Yeah,
not cute. When children, like, give them 4 years more, if at 5, the way they talk back to the judges or act smart, they think that, oh, they're very smart, they're cute, everybody's clapping, so they think it's okay to talk that way, it's
yeah,
okay to do this, to dance this way, though they really don't know anything about it.
yeah. See,
So
also,
Absolutely.
I
yeah,
mean, everybody says the same things. All of us, when we look at this is what we feel. But then again, there are so many people who would still continue to watch it.
absolutely.
Absolutely, Nisha.
Yeah.
I mean, the
In fact,
viewers also,
Anu, just
yes.
one more point I'd like to make here is that, see, when adult women are molested, who is there to protect these young children? See, they are sometimes alone with adults who we do not trust. They could be pedophiles, you see. And this is something I think Astrodeep could sort of tell us a little bit more about. Astrodeep, you're mute. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
Astrodeep,
yes.
yeah,
Yes, definitely. We cannot trust anybody because we know आजकल का कैसा ज़माना है, and then children are left to be dropped and picked up by unknown people and
yeah,
strangers, and then they are left to be definitely sometime parents are there, but I don't trust parents also because
yeah,
situation is such that they are using them, and with lot of pressure, and the measurements and all that thing. It's very who is taking care of them? Is there any government official who is listening to the kids? There is no such arrangement in any of the shoot, be it reality shoots or be it TV shows or be it films. So definitely somebody needs to take notice of this, and definitely feel that अगर किसी को chance मिलेगा to molest and to abuse, definitely they will do that. There is no
yeah,
cameras there,
yes,
so yeah.
yeah, Anu, yeah,
Yes, I think I can see many, many people, including Sangeeta Iyer, who's a filmmaker herself.
yeah,
Metal Films has said there's hardly any, any chance for traditions of our country to be, highlighted, and there is no money for, all the money is put into this kind of marketing of these kind of shows. And they've another, I think, viewer has said, yes, parents take pride in their children learning Sanskrit, I mean, learning Japanese and German, which is, of course, learning languages is great, but, learning Sanskrit is seen as infra dig,
yeah,
So, and as Nisha very rightly said, we see what, the child who comes first may or may not get a bigger platform.
yeah,
Again, what is that platform, what is the prices that is being paid is bad enough, but what happens to the hundreds and the thousands who either don't make it onto the stage, or who are, who don't make it to the first three positions? What happens to them? These are very, very
in
dangerous
fact, yeah. In
issues.
fact, Anu, without naming the person,
Yeah,
I would like to talk about someone who spoke anonymously about the reality show being rigged. See, they know who will be the winners, and the parents of the children also know what's happening. All this thing, for example, the fact that Neha Kakkar who cries on the show, or Shilpa Shetty, laughing, this is all staged.
it
See,
is.
when one of the persons, again, I'm who on a we're not mentioning her name, anonymous. She was asked to judge a singing show, and in between, when she was praising a child for singing well, a voice from the studio in her headphone said to her, "Okay, drama bas karo." She said she was shocked and refused to go as a judge after that. So you can understand where it is coming from. Now, another thing I'd like to also tell you is that, see, why do people, come to, events like this kids reality show? It is all for money. For example, Rimi Sen, she went to Big Boss. I'd like to hear what I would like you all to hear what she said. She said, Bollywood, she was the Bollywood actress Rimi Sen in Big Boss season 9. She mentioned she solely did the actuality present for cash. She mentioned, see, we do a few things for fame and some for money. I did Big Boss only for money. They paid me around 2.25 crores for 49 days, and nobody can earn this much money in a short time. Now, FIR fame, Kavita has been a part of various shows like Nach Baliye, Jhalak Dikhla Ja, and Big Boss. She said, I participated in Nach Baliye, which is Ekta Kapoor's program, and Jhalak Dikhla Ja only when I wanted to buy a house. I have a few houses that I own now. So I don't need to put myself through the pain of being in a show and stand in line to take marks for something that I don't believe in, just for money. I don't like to be at the mercy of others, be controlled, or to take jibes and insults. I guess that's a weakness in today's time. So you understand, friends. See, parents are doing it because they want money. Actors are doing it because they want money. Models and TV stars are doing it because they want money. And then, despite all this, these shows are called reality shows when they are nowhere near to reality. It's all staged, it's all rigged. That's the kind of feedback we are getting from various people who have been judges, who have been spectators, who have been parents, and also people like Astrodeep who have been, part of it. Yes. Would you like to talk about that,
Yeah, I think
Nisha?
as Nisha said, yeah, sorry. I'll
Yeah,
just say
yeah,
that viewers need to stop watching these, and I'll now Nisha and
yeah, yeah,
Astro.
yeah. Nisha and
Yeah, I
Astro?
mean, this is what I would like to say. Only if we start and, to stop watching these, we
Yeah,
stop promoting these, then, like the viewership will come down and then they'll realize. Because I don't think if you talk to them as parents or as write to them, they're going to listen because it's a lot of money involved. It's
absolutely.
children are being sacrificed for all these things. I mean, what's the ideas that you put in a child? You can
Yeah.
go there, you can sing, you can dance, you can make some money. And so where is the need to study 1 years of your notes? Your parents are writing the notes for you, or your friends are writing. Is that needed? And nowadays the
I
children.
remember, Nisha, when I was in school, and if I missed a couple of days of school because I was sick, it was so difficult for me to make up those 2 days. You
Yeah,
know, copying the notes, trying to understand what happened in those 2 days. Can you imagine these children are missing so many days, sometimes months?
yeah. And even schools earn mileage out of this. If one of their students are in, like, say, top singer or whatever the other reality show the name is, if one of their students are there, then the schools also get publicity.
Yeah,
So the
absolutely.
schools are also pushing them, and they have a fan base and they have everything happening there for them.
Yeah.
And then, but finally what happens is, when it comes to eliminating a little child, when eliminating from certain rounds and everything, those children feel so disheartened. They
Yeah.
start feeling that they are not good, when actually this is not any yardstick by which they see whether they are good or not.
Yeah.
A reality show.
In fact, what you said, Nisha, one child, apparently she was hospitalized because they criticized
Yeah,
her and said that she is not able to, come to the top. And, luckily the child recovered. Otherwise, can you
Yeah.
imagine the kind of harm it has done to the child?
Yeah.
As to the,
Thank you, Meena. Then let me just go backstage if
Thank you,
anybody else
Disha.
would like
Thank
to
you
join.
for your valuable comments. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Meena.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
Bye.
you,
much.
Anu.
I'll see you in the
Thank you, ma'am.
backstage.
Yeah,
I just feel that two things are very important. One is we should not buy the subscription of those channels who promote kids reality shows, because kids are not watching it. Why are adults watching kids in the dirty moves and all? And
yeah,
second thing is, there is no guarantee. See, everybody is getting paid. uh, Actors are getting paid, crew is getting paid, but the child is not getting paid.
yeah,
The child's money is used by the parents. So
yeah,
it is actually a manavidikar hanan, like human rights. Like the child is not getting anything for a labor. So there should be a guarantee, if somebody, at least that money should be there in that particular kid's name whenever that kid grow up. So these are the things government should take care, I see.
yeah. In fact, a person called Sandeep Sikchar, he had a TV producer, Sandeep, who had appeared on Big Boss season 14 as a guest on a Weekend Ka War episode. After watching an immunity task episode, he had taken to Twitter to slam the makers of the reality show. He had written, "Yes, reality shows are based on reality of emotions, but then who the hell has a right to judge that between a divorce, suicide attempt, kidnapping, and molestation, what is more impactful? Disgusting. Today, I agree, TV can go to the lowest dash 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 just to get ratings." You know,
Yes, ma'am. Actually, reality shows are this. Everybody knows that it is not on basis of the talent. It is on the TRP only.
yeah,
And but the pressure and damage that put on the mentality of the child. उसके बाद तो after growing up, he or she doesn't have that energy to again fight.
yeah,
In the childhood itself, that kid has fought so much, but there is no interest or energy left. And you see most of the child kids, they try to go away from that,
yeah.
in if you
Yeah.
see.
In
Yeah.
fact, what Shilpa says, there was some kid who had no hands and had participated in one of the dance shows. Yes, I found that very sad, Shilpa. And see, what makes me even more ashamed is the kind of reactions that this Malaika and this Mauni and this Shilpa show. First of all, they are filled with plastic. There is no area in their body, their head or their body that is not filled with silicone or with plastic. So when they laugh, it's all exaggerated. So you know that these emotions, first of all, are not real. And they have brought this child only there for sympathy. It's very, very sad that they are doing these kind of things just to get their TRP.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, those close-up shots, they're separately taken. They are not even real. Like they
Yeah,
will make them sit in the lighting, one side lighting they will do so that the time is not wasted. They will bring everybody in the same shot, same frame, same lighting, and they will take the reaction shots.
yeah,
So this is not reality. People are just getting fooled and all. And
yeah,
definitely they will not use their own kids. They protect their own kids like anything.
yeah. And also, I remember in one of the programs, I think Jalak Diklaja, the one that Ekta Kapoor has. See, apparently, what one of the participants said is that she behaves like her majesty. The moment she comes into the scene, everybody has to stand up. And the whole thing is concocted. Who will win? Who will lose? Everything is pre-decided.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah,
They see which shot is giving more TRP, and even parents know that it is just like another TV show only. So there is no
yeah,
truth in that, and there is no happy competition, and it is just. But kids doesn't know that. They don't know the politics of the whole show.
absolutely.
So
Yeah. So what I feel, Astro, is that see, the government has to interfere, especially the woman and child minister who hardly cares about all these things. They should make rules which protect the children, and the parents of such shows. There should be contracts, which are signed before they get into these programs that they will not wear vulgar outfits. They will not dance to vulgar, item songs. That they will behave their age, and how many hours they need to work. You cannot treat them like slaves. So these things should all be incorporated, and these things should be told to the the event management, the TV event management people, that you cannot do this to small children starting from the age of 4.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely, there should be a government representative involved in all such cases who should be thing, because I have seen literally like 10 years ago. Also, I was doing one reality show that kids has to, the 24-hour shift. Who cares? Nobody's checking. I mean, for assistant director, nobody's checking who can speak. Imagine somebody who, like, nobody will check for the kids. So there should be a government representative who is checking, who has this checklist and who has to do that. And again, thanking you, like literally you're talking about this. Nobody, if you even search for the YouTube, nobody's even mentioning this, like as if it's, I don't know, they think kids are robots or what.
Yeah. Also, see, if you notice, I'm not sort of praising the people in the south, but I've noticed that in south of India, the children are forced to, or urged to learn the classical dance form, from proper gurus, proper dance teachers. So what happens is they learn art, as well as they do not learn the bad side of it, the sleazy side of it. So there are values taught to them, but the right way.
Yes, ma'am. This kind of dance show with this is not anything near to culture.
Yeah,
It's just vulgarity at its best. How to show the dirtiest moves.
yeah,
We can't even see. Like, I don't know how. It's very bad. And there is a director on the set whose main motive itself is to bring that out.
yeah.
So definitely, and who is watching
See,
it?
and
Adults are
also,
watching
see,
it.
also, Astro, don't forget the fact that these actresses who come there, as judges, half the time they're not judging. They are just wearing skimpy clothes, and dancing vulgar songs, to vulgar songs, So they are also there as item dancers, not as judges, That is their status is limited only to sex.
Yes, 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 definitely. All these item songs. First, making item song itself is such a objectification of the woman.
Yeah,
On top of that, like you see Samantha talking about feminism, and then doing the dirtiest. I mean, I couldn't even see that song where
yeah,
10,000, like thousands of men are, oogling at the body of a woman who
yeah,
is not good, with like properly even dressed, and
yeah,
that is done by copied in the reality shows. I
yeah.
mean, if tomorrow this kid grows up, she will only understand that I only need to wear skimpy clothes in order to
Yeah,
get
to
success.
get attention. See, even here, I'd like to tell viewers and, of course, everybody who's listening that a person like Urfi, who you see every day in Bollywood PR, wearing very few clothes, is actually sponsored by a lady producer who's paying her large amounts of money to wear, think clothes that are there but not there, meaning skimpy clothes, revealing clothes, pieces of cloth covering her body. She is being paid for it, and now Urfi has become a very rich woman. So do not think that she is doing it on her own. She is being paid by a top producer to degrade women and society. Yes,
Yes,
Astro.
yes. I mean, this is very some, like, we can't. There are so many rape cases happening just because of, it is not even about clothes. Fully dressed girls are getting kidnapped and raped, but nobody is seeing what is the basic main problem, major problem. What is the root cause of it? The
Yeah,
objectifications, because it is very easy that stalking is good. You can abuse women, and this is shown on the films and the movies and all. So
yeah,
it is
absolutely.
like influencers like Bhuvan Bam.
Yeah,
That case he was talking about a pahadi woman पीछे से देगी क्या देगी, like how degrading. I mean, he
yeah,
calls himself so millions of people are following him, and if
yeah,
you check the comment section, men and all that are agreeing to that.
yeah.
So they just think a woman as a piece of
Flesh,
item,
flesh.
pleasure.
Yeah, mhm,
That's it. There is
yeah,
no connection, and in that, if you are making such a environment for women, And then it is not, you cannot keep crying and march on the with the candlelight.
Yeah.
So that is.
And the funny thing is, after all this, Astro, since you're in the, you've been in that, what do you say, field. After all this, after all doing all these item songs and all that, then they want to get married in the traditional form, covering all, the whole body, and doing Sanskrit slokas and going to all the temples and shrines. So look at the kind of mixed emotions they are trying to spread to their fans.
Ma'am, basically, actually, I want that is all PR strategy.
Yeah,
Even then, also there is no, like when I saw that somebody's wedding, I don't want to take name. Some woman priest was there. I'm not against it, but like the somebody who has just learned like yesterday, like in 2 3 months somebody learns and comes and stays says the mantra, who doesn't even know properly mantra. Nowadays they are saying we don't want mantra, you just tell us the meaning. You are
yeah,
losing the whole blessings of the planet itself.
yeah.
What blessings, like mantras are to evoke the planets, and they say
Absolutely.
we don't you just tell us the meaning and we will tell each other. What
Yeah.
rubbish is this? And
And
you are
also
not and
saying,
ha.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, Tom and Jerry is saying, imagine the stupid parents dressing their kids like Gangubai and posting pictures online. In fact, they were asked to remove it, you know, because can you imagine who is Gangubai? Gangubai was a prostitute long time back. Okay. Now she is being enacted by a young girl who can't act for nuts. And then to promote the movie, they make little girls dress like her and, have smoke cigarettes and all that. How vulgar, how cheap. Is this what they want society to do?
Yeah, yeah. One video was viral. One small girl was doing that BD scene. I was like
Yes.
shocked. I
Yeah.
mean, like in which angle, like where you are taking this kids, because kids are followed by so many youngsters, and
Yeah.
uh, you know, yeah, I think Kangna also did talk about that. It is
Yeah.
not good. I mean, somebody should be speaking
Yeah.
about this. Yes.
Absolutely. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, Astuti, for joining us. Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Nisha. And thank you, all the viewers. And please realize that, see, this is not the only time we're going to talk about this. We will be bringing people to talk about this and somehow put an end to this kind of show, or at least have rules, drawn out, which do not exploit children. And parents need to learn the rules. For money, they cannot do anything you know. So thank you, Astro, and good night.
Thank you, ma'am. I think the discussion is very important. At least if nobody is listening, at least the discussion should be there. The
Absolutely.
dialogue should be there. Somebody will connect. So I'm just
Yeah.
thanking you. Thank you.
Yeah. Good night.